Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about staking your gas key, a method that I have found and learned, which seems to be as reliable as any of them, as well as the general installation of the Rubber City Armory adjustable gas key. Before I begin, I'd like to send you a big thank you out to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you enjoyed this video, enjoy this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and/or subscribing. Whew, with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, I've already done a review, kind of just looking at the macro shots and how this kind of functions, the Rubber City Armory gas key. And here I have my Saltwater Arms SW15 nickel boron bolt carrier. Had about 2,000 rounds through it. Was doing my general inspection of it and found, well, hey, so I need a new cotter pin, and the gas key was never staked. After 2,000 rounds, I held up perfectly fine. Don't even know how I didn't realize it, but I figured I'm going to stake it, and to adjust some of the gas, since it has a non-adjustable gas block, try this out. So killing two birds, one stone, right? But what you're going to need, you're going to need your bolt carrier, of course, Rubber City Armory adjustable gas key, some red Loctite. This one happens to be 266, high strength, high temperature, oil resistant. This is going to be used for two things. One is going to be used for each one of these new screws that get put in here, as well as acting as a sealer on the very bottom coating of this gas key. But you want to use something that's high temp, hopefully oil resistant, as well as high temperature. So important thing to have. If you go without it, the staking will hold the key, or the key and the screw in place. But what can happen is you can have gas bleed by, since it's essentially acting as a gasket, similar to automotive, because these surfaces, while they appear flat, are not perfectly flat. So it basically bridges that gap and prevents gas from leaking out in areas like this right down here. But yeah, so that's the general process, guys, and we're just gonna go through it. So let's get to, oh, another thing as well. Punch. This one is overkill, but for a reason. And then a little setter punch, that way your items don't drift. And as a quick tangent, most of staking is going to be done what's called hydraulic staking, where it pinches in on the sides. What we're going to be doing is essentially we're going to do a little four punches. So we're going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on either edge, and pushing material from here into the key and preventing from rotating. Very similar to staking your castle nut. So that is generally what we're going to be doing here. Let's take out cotter pin. Yeah, boy, that cotter pin's seen a better day. So it's the graveyard with you, buddy. Okay, hold on. No, just joking. Okay, just gonna rotate this here. Actually, firing pin out. Could usually do it with the firing pin. I know somebody's out there saying, "Oh, the geeky nerd, you're doing this wrong." I never had any issues. I was gonna go for the pliers. Some of them stick, some of them don't. They just drop everything off camera. Okay, there's a little dirt on here. You see, I didn't really clean it. Again, this is after. Well, I mean, I've cleaned it before, right? But and that's about 2,000 rounds on a one of these Landtech cam pins. So that's, if you're seeing this video and wondering about how those Landtechs hold up, I should been doing pretty dang well all these years. Yeah, very happy with it. No ridges, no nothing like that. Sorry, you just gotta look at your guns as you're taking them apart, right? See if there's any issues forming, which there does not appear to be. Okay, and take our bolt out. I know. We're getting to the key part. Don't you worry. We're all cool there. Gas rings look fine. So yeah, pretty fine. Generally fine. So rotation. Actually, one thing, if you're just filling the dead air here, I've always wondered, and I can't really see a general consensus. It seems like it doesn't really matter, but just how the gas rings line up. There's three of them, and then I always thought of it like piston rings, right, where they need to be clocked 180 degrees opposite of one another to be effective in their operation. But let me know down below, guys, if that is a bunch of malarkey. Dokie, put that aside there. Now we're going to take out this old gas key here. Allen. It's not a metric, as you would hope and expect. Yeah, let's see here. Yep. But if you can gauge that right on the first try, you're words of Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny, you're a golden god. Yeah. So take these out. I believe these are 40-inch pounds usually, so you should be able to crack these loose. Of course, putting the key back in, you are going to want a torque wrench, but those haven't loosed up. Oh, I'm surprised you guys are figuring this out as soon as I am. That's actually pretty okay, all things being equal. You actually see some Loctite previously coming out. After all these years, that's pretty impressive. You see, this was, while it wasn't staked, looks like they only did, they did a little Loctite on the front. But you can also use this as a moment to see how efficient your carrier was being. So you see that whoever put Loctite on that rear put a lot on there, but you're not having a lot of soot leave or too much. This actually didn't even have any sealant on it, so you can see without sealant, just some proper torque, some oil was getting underneath there, so some was kind of leaking out a bit, but it was still making a somewhat okay seal, somewhat okay, which what every guy wants to hear from their AR parts, right? So we're gonna put some CLP on here. You want the surface to be impeccably clean, just because you're only gonna do this once. Hopefully, probably, maybe get that nice and worked in there. Love Slip 2000, best stuff ever. Give it a second to break away. And yeah, I still want some more here, so a little bit more. I want to get this area clean. May go as far as taking a brush. So let's see here. Put that there. Let me get my brush. Okay. Grabbing grab a steel brush. I could grab the brass. I want something a little bit more abrasive. And then we're just gonna work this in here. I'll probably use that one. Again, you really want to break this up, really get this clean. I'm sure the finish is loving this right now. It's okay though. Could use the brass if you're sensitive to it. All right, let's try to get some of those threads cleaned out. Do as much as we can. See, yeah, see, we still have a little bit more. And you really want this as clean as possible. Uh, as they say with a lot of things, right? It's all in the prep work. So I'm gonna clean this up here and I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So got that all nice and cleaned up. You see some just has some general surface tarnish. Now you're going to take like a little cotton pad here, take some isopropyl alcohol, and you're gonna want to wipe down that surface, get it super clean. Better adhesion you have for the Loctite, better it's going to be overall. Also, don't forget to apply some to your gas key for those surfaces. And you can see a little bit of the factory oils are coming off. That's good. Go back once over here. If we're getting anything, nope. Okay, put those off to the side. Don't let anything else get on them. Ask for alcohol. Throw that to the side. Right in the fire. Okie dokie. And those pieces all nice and cleaned up. I'm gonna take our Rubber City Armory keys here. And I know that there's like the big thing about the OKCS or OCKS or whatever. These are not that. These appear to just be, at least from everything I've seen, that they say grade 8, but appear to just be standard fasteners, right? So we're just going to clean these off. We don't want any oil on the threads. Cool. Cool. Okay. bring everything back into frame. And now here comes the fun part. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your red, and you have to do this in a certain series, right? So this red Loctite should be good for, I believe it's well after like an hour or so. So after you do all this, you want to kind of set it, forget it, and put it aside. But we're just gonna shake our Loctite bottle here. Give it a go for a second. Okay, and then we're going to find something to act as an applicator to kind of smear this around. We're essentially going to cover this entire surface right here with that red Loctite. So I'm just going to use my little plastic pick here. And we're going to take our red Loctite. Actually, before we can do that, take a step back because, again, you want to kind of get this all in prep work, right? You don't want to jump to it. So I got my little torque wrench here, and then we're going to set it to 40 inch-pounds. So what's that? That's 35. Five. Perfect. All right, 40. Okay. And of course, make sure you're doing inch pounds, not foot pounds. Okay, and just double check it with my own eyes here because I'm not known for my good eyes. There we go. Nice and tight. Cool. And find the bit adapter we're going to use. Let's make sure we're not going to go one size up. No, it's just going to be that one. Make sure it's not my other bit set. Actually, that one's even better. Important thing about bits, right? Always make sure it is getting a nice, snug, full seat, not just half partial, right? Because sometimes it feels like it can engage, but trust me, you know when it fits because there's no weeble wobble in it. Okay, so got that, got that. Got our little adapter here. And one thing I won't show on camera here is essentially as I throw this into the vise, you're going to just want to clamp down nice and gently. Use some soft jaw vices, soft vice jaws. You're going to throw it in there. And then as you're torquing, you're just going to apply to the handle here and just torque till you feel it click at 40. Just do left and right and call it a day. So that's the only part that you guys are not going to see on camera here. But with that, let's take our red Loctite, have it go a little bit of everywhere. Actually, you don't ever want to waste any of this shit, right? Don't want to get any in the holes. It's just yet. Clean off that nozzle a bit. Okay. I know someone out there is screaming right now. I'm using too much. But it's okay. It's my gun, and I'll do what I want to. Cry if I want to. Mama said I couldn't be a surgeon. Hey guys in the automotive industry, this is giving some vibes of like applying some RTV to like a diff gasket or a valve cover gasket or something like that, right? Yeah. Nice and sealed up because it can be. Cool. Don't wipe that off. So you're covering that full surface area. And again, once you do this, that's what I say. You don't want to use any like you blue Loctite, whatever. Once you do this, in order to get these out in the future, you're probably either going to snap these bolts, or you're gonna have to apply a good amount of heat to break this crap off. So you have been warned. And remember, Loctite, a little dab will do you. That's enough right there. That's enough right there. Just spreads out amongst the threads. You don't need to goop it on there. Okay. Now we have our clean surface here. And then we're going to take this, drop that down nice and easy. Line up with the holes. It's going to slide around a bit. Throw that one that has a little bit more on the front. This one has a little bit less on the rear, just because. Okay. And now we're going to take our Allen, hold it still. Realize it's not the same damn size. Oh, that's fun. It's okay. Take this and start running it home. Okay, you'll see some of that red Loctite spew out amongst the edges there, but that's okay because that's creating that gasket for you. Now that they are finger tight, we're going to throw this in the vise real quick, and we're going to get that 40 inch pounds. So be right back. Okay, there we go. So nice and torqued down. Now we're just going to take a little cloth here, wipe off that excess. Red Loctite. Good thing about that 272 there, 272, 266. Sorry, is that it is oil and oil solvent gas resistant. I've had great success with using it for uh, those fine members at Jiffy Lube who decide they want to over torque somebody's oil pan nut and get stripped out and you got to replace it. And so I found this always works good for time certs to hold it in place. But in either case, that is your gas key now replaced, fully torqued, and good to go. Now we're going to work on the staking. So let me change the angles here and be right back. For the staking part, you're going to need a center punch is going to be good or necessary, right? So that we don't have any things we wobble. A good size main punch. You can use something a little bit smaller than this, but this is the one I have just to kind of demonstrate it can work. A feasible hammer and some good aim. No, just joking. Not joking. Essentially, what we're going to be doing here, guys, is we're going to be going in the four corners. So as opposed to kind of punching it from the side, so I've seen people where they will take it, stake it on the side, and then kind of drive metal in. Don't necessarily like that method since you are essentially driving metal into it, but you're not creating a lot of surface area like how the hydraulic does. But with this method, you're going one corner, two corner, three corner, four corner, basically doing that, going straight down and then driving metal in, displacing it that way, you are creating more effectively more surface area. And technically, it's a lot easier to hit something straight down as opposed to on the side. These are just some El Cheapo soft jaws. I have it clamped down, but nothing too crazy. And so we're going to get into it. So we're just going to pick a corner, any corner. Keep your hand steady. You want to get kind of close to the edge, kind of in between everything, right? Line it up, scrape your finish, and then commit, and then go a second time for good measure. Okay, so we got one there. To do another method, and yes, this has already been torqued to 40 inch pounds. Put another one. You want to get as close as possible, but not too close. To another one. This one's in the corner, pretty easy. and this one over here. Okay, so now we have those. Consider it staked. No, just joking. So then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Oh, of course, you want to make it look nice, best you can, right? Okay, and so now we have those little clover leaves. So now we're going to take our comically oversized punch. I know someone's joking in the comments about this, but hey, you do with what you got, right? And you see, it falls into place. Just make sure each one of them has a solid grip into the metal. That way, you're not going to wander around and smack your key. And of course, I'm doing all this uh, with with the RTV, oh gosh, I'm blanking on it here. The Loctite 266, still currently setting. It hasn't fully set yet. Just that way, once it does set, it isn't having any additional shock of what we're about to do this poor thing. So now you're going to take your hammer, and here, I'll do it for one that you guys can probably see a bit better. Go to that one right there. And then we're just going to give it solid wax. Don't daisy it. Actually, let me move the light for you because that thing's going to fly off. And that has displaced some metal, which is good. Oh, one whack got away from me. Of course, you want to try to keep this as straight as possible. Okay. See, pull body's not effect. One of these, smack the screw. Well, that's just fine. Well, that will make it in the edit. Just shows you kind of be a bit more cognizant than I'm trying to do here on the video, right? But yeah. And that, guys, you can see that staked it. Not the prettiest, considering that I goofed it on the one right there, but it's okay. It'll still run. Pull body's not effect. These guns are made to be abused a bit, right? But you can actually see now that the metal has been forced into the sides, effectively locking that into place. So, alternative method of how to get your gas key staked, right? So, uh, yeah, dang, I wish I didn't have the goof, but I'm still gonna publish this because Poe Body's nerfed, and it's good to show every bit of flaw because even though that has happened, um, I'm the only one that's gonna see it and shouldn't cause any sort of detriment. It just makes sure that one's extra strong, right? Uh, but yeah, that is the alternative gas key staking method. Okie dokie. Now back over here to the bench, even after my little goof here. But here, I won't say anything if you don't. But that is the Rubber City Armory gas key installation, staking, and overall setup with it. I am going to run in these screws here. Obviously, demonstrating that on camera here wouldn't be possible at this exact moment. But like I said, it's going to run in one single screw and then run in a chaser screw. And they conveniently give all these instructions on the back of this little card here. So just going to follow that and let you guys know how this works. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day. And I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.